Hello and welcome to this week live Q&A where we have our featured member spotlight, Miss Kyia Mobley. But we're going to get to her in just one moment. So in normal fashion, let's talk about our weekly announcements. So every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can come here and get your questions answered. So don't stay stuck. Get out your notebook and write down what may be keeping you stuck during the week and come and get that question answered. No Parallel-Preneur left behind. Also, if you want to be featured just like Miss Kyia Mobley, then just make sure you click the link in the description and reach out to us and we'll get you on our calendar as soon as we can. Also, we have our monthly community networking event. It happens the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. You want to be there. You want to make sure that you do not miss the opportunity to connect with the other parallelpreneurs in the room. Our next one, however, we will not be having one in July because it's so close to the 4th of July, and I really want you to celebrate self-care and celebrate your family. But the next one will be August the 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you mark your calendars. Even though we're going to not have our normal monthly networking event in July, I am going to have some posts going out during that evening where you get an opportunity to ask. Are you looking to be a guest on a podcast? Are you looking for clients? Are you looking to be connected to a certain individual or a certain type of person? This is your opportunity to put your ask out there and get support. You never know who in this community knows who and how they can support what your ask is. Also, this is going to be the number one place online for parallelpreneurs to hang out. So invite your other parallelpreneur friends. There's professionals who are building a service or product-based business. Invite them to this community. Do not be selfish. Sharing is caring. Make sure you invite them to this community. Also, if you have not had an opportunity to join us for the challenge that we have coming up next week, June 21st through the 25th, make sure you register for that challenge. It's going to be hosted in the group, but in order for you to get all the notifications, all the worksheets, and everything that comes with this challenge, you need to register. So make sure that you do that, and let us know if you have any problems with registering, and we'll make sure that we get you on the list for that. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to some and present to others, Miss Kyia Mobley. Welcome, Kyia. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. How
Thank
are you
you.
doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to let you know that it's actually Kia. It's pronounced Kia, like the
Oh,
car.
Kyia, like the car. Okay, I
Like the
truly
car.
apologize.
It is
Kyia,
okay. Yes.
Kyia Mobley, guys. Kyia, just like the car. Kyia Mobley. So tell us a little bit more about you and your business.
Okay. Well, I am a single cat mom. I have to always mention my babies. I have two cats named Marley and Sheba. They are my
Oh,
heartbeat. So they're my children. That's all I have for children. So I always talk about them. And I am a
okay, okay.
group and cruise travel agent. I've been in the travel industry since I want to say since 2007. So I've worked for an airline for 9 years, and then I've been a travel agent. So I love everything about travel. I've been traveling since I was a kid with my parents. My parents used to drive from New York
Mm-hmm.
to California, everywhere. My parents would just drive
Oh, wow.
everywhere. So I got my love of travel from my parents. So the name of my travel business is called Nubian Journeys. And the
Mm-hmm.
goal with my travel business is to get more Generation X, Black people to travel more, to travel to Africa, to travel in style, think out
Mm-hmm.
the box instead of doing Miami or Bahamas. Go to Africa, go to where our motherland is and see where your ancestors come from. So that is my big goal with my business. Cruises as well. Um, I know a lot of Black people don't do river cruises. That's
Really
just, yes, yes.
interesting.
River cruises is, it's just about expanding your mind and upgrading your lifestyle, upgrading your thoughts.
Mhm.
Um, so yes.
So,
And that's it.
so tell me a little bit more about why um, there are, of course, there are several different travel agents in the community. And so
Mhm.
you specifically, I know you have the experience in travel. You've been doing it since, you had just grown experience in travel. And then as a youth, that's fond memories of traveling. So tell us more about what can they expect, or when they, when they're asking for, hey, I want to go on a trip, what's some things that we need to know to be able to be like, you know what, Kyia is the travel agent for you when you want to have this type of experience.
Um, you definitely want to, how do I want to say, know before you go. So you always want to research wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Research if you need any shots to that destination. Research how long your passport has to be good until most destinations, your passport has to be good for another 6 months
Okay.
um, after you actually return from that destination. Um, just know if you need a visa, always have numbers to like the US embassy. Just always plan ahead as if something might happen. What am I going to do? Have travel insurance. Um, always leave documents with your friends or your family members, whoever you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, just know before you go.
Now, is that something that you put together for people that choose to travel with you? Like, do you send them that information in some type of downloadable or some type of, welcome packet or
I
anything like
do.
that? Okay, so
I
that's good.
do.
Right.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
know before you go. So if you travel with Kyia and you a Gen X African American, she's going to make sure you know what you need to know before you go, because these experiences are not your typical city, next city state travel, Miami, Atlanta, Vegas type situations. She's taking you on experiences to Africa, the river cruises, and giving you an opportunity to really expand your travel game. And she's going to ensure that you know before you go by ensuring that you have the documents that's needed, or even the information on what you need to have in place to ensure that in case anything can happen, that you
Right.
are prepared for it. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So currently, do you
Yeah.
have anything where we can support you? Have anything going on that we can support you and get more people to learn more about your travel, Nubian journeys, travel experiences?
Well, I would love for people to follow me on social media. My handle is Nubian Journeys. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Nubian Journeys. My website is nubianjourneys.com.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the only thing that I have coming up right now, I
Mm-hmm.
do have a trip planned, a group trip planned to Senegal and the Gambia. That's in West Africa. That's
Okay.
for April of 2022. So next year.
Okay. Okay. So if
Hmm.
people are interested in getting more information about that group trip you're planning for April 2022, what do they need to do?
Um, follow me at Nubian Journeys because I'm actually going to put out the itinerary this week.
Okay.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're interested in that, make sure you comment below so she can make sure she tags you when she starts advertising that experience, because you do not want to miss it at all.
Right.
So in true live Q&A fashion, what question do you have for me tonight?
My question is, because I am so niched down to
Mm-hmm.
Black people, men or
Mm-hmm.
women, but
Mm-hmm.
Generation X, basically my generation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to target them, and I don't know how to not make non-Black people kind of feel excluded. Um, yeah, that's my thing. I don't know how to target the Gen X Black people, And then
Okay.
I don't know how to make other non-Black people feel not excluded, feel excluded.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a tough question here. So
Mhm.
your focus is Gen X. What age group is that?
That is, let me think,
That's
mid
okay. Take your time.
60s, born in the mid 60s
Okay.
to the early 80s.
Okay. Early 80s. I think
Mhm.
I fit in that. The Gen X crew. Okay. Early 80s. Okay. So based on Nubian journeys and the experience that you offer,
Mhm.
will people that are not of African American or not African American want to experience this?
Some
I know
will,
you don't want to exclude them, but is
right?
this something that they're looking to experience?
Some are, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So tell me about that. So some are looking to experience that. So being that you've been putting it out there, Gen X, African American, Nubian journeys, we travel to Africa and other, places, motherlands, other things like that. When those
Mhm.
people that are non-African American reach out to you, what is their reasoning for wanting to have the same experience?
Because they want to learn about Africa as well, as much as anyone else does. They've never been to Africa. Some of them are thinking just like it's an African safari. But my groups are not going to be safari based. My groups are going to be cultural,
Okay.
heritage,
Okay.
um, meeting with the local people, even trying to volunteer for a day or a half a day with the local people, just contributing to the local people as much as possible.
And when you share that with people that are non-African American, are they still interested in going on the Nubian journey experience with you?
Some are,
Okay. All right.
yes.
So that's fine. But even though so that just says that you're not excluding people that want to experience it that way. So if they just want to say, I went to Africa, kiss an African baby, and do a safari, they can be like, nope, exit stage left. I don't care about tasting the food. I don't care about volunteer.
Right.
I don't care about digging deeper. I think you still should lean in to Gen X, African American, going back to the motherland and experiencing that in the cultural experience. If anybody that's non-African American want to come along, I think as long as when they reach out to you and you realize that they're non-African American, you
Mhm.
explaining just like you did to me, I want you to
Okay.
understand that we welcome any race to have this
Mhm.
experience, but this is what this experience includes. Is that something that you're interested in, or
Okay.
is that something you think about when you say, I want to visit Africa? Or is your vision of visiting Africa a safari and kissing a black baby? Don't go there. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying, just be sure that what you offer is what they want to experience when they visit Africa.
Okay. Okay. That makes
So
sense. Yes.
yeah. So lean in to who the niche is for, right? And then
Mhm.
if you get I'm recanting. If you get people reach out that are non-African Americans and they want the experience, then that's when you have the conversation. I'm super
Okay.
excited that you reached out to me and you want to experience Africa or travel to Africa. Let me
Mhm.
explain what the experience entails. Then you explain it.
Okay.
Is that something you're interested in? Is that how you want to visit Africa? They're gonna say yes or no.
Mhm.
If they say no, then let's point them in a different direction. Let's have another travel agent that you partner with that you can refer them to.
Mhm.
Okay, not a problem. I do have another travel agent friend colleague that also do trips to Africa, and I think what she offers will be more in line with what you're looking for. Let me make sure I connect you to.
Okay.
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 If they say yes, wonderful, great, we will love to have you. Let's
Mhm.
talk about what happens next to make sure you're included in our next group experience.
Okay. Okay.
How you feeling? What questions do you have?
I like that. I mean, it sounds actually so simple, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. 'Cause I was just like, what am I gonna say to them? Like,
You're
maybe
gonna just
I'll just
ask questions.
avoid them.
Nope, let's not avoid them because they may want to experience it in the way that you're
That
delivering it.
right.
But that only happens with a conversation. So
Mhm.
maybe they just can't pay their money, right? They may need to have a conversation
Mhm.
with you first to ensure. Hello to anyone that's joining us. Thank you for joining. If you have a question, make sure you put it in the comments. Um, to ensure that you are providing the experience that they vision when they want to come go to visit Africa.
Okay.
And I think that will lean in to who it's for.
Mhm.
Gen X, you born in mid
Mhm.
60s to early 80s, African Americans, and you want to, experience and learn about Africa. Actually, even
Right.
part of your trip, you want to volunteer, you want to dig deeper into
Right.
the culture of Africa and not. It's just not a bucket list thing for you. It's not just about the safari or being seen with some babies and kissing them. Even for us, right? Because some of us may have that vision for our own
Right.
experience, right? And
Right.
so it's not just non African Americans that may have a
Mhm.
different vision for their African trip compared to what experience you will give. And so I
Mhm.
definitely say lean into that in all of your messaging. Lean into who it's for,
Mhm.
lean in what is the difference between your African trips compared to others. And just have somebody that
Okay.
you can refer people to that wants a different type of African experience
Okay.
so that you are still a resource to them. So no, this is not the experience from you based on what I understand you're telling me, but I have somebody that can, I can, well, you can't insure, but I have somebody I can connect you to that can
Right.
help you plan a trip to Africa and ensure that you get the experience you are expecting from Africa and just
Okay.
partner with them. So, Kyia, do you feel you are clear now? You feel you got clear?
Yes, I am clear.
You feel you're confident in your next steps?
I am confident. Yes.
Now, do you feel like you can get the cash for those Gen X African Americans that want to experience Africa on a whole nother level?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I have done my job here. Yes, 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 yes.
Ooh.
So once again, Miss Kyia, share again with the community how they can connect with you and follow you and support you on social media or through your website.
Okay, so that will be Nubian Journeys. That's on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and my website is nubianjourneys.com.
Yes. So thank you once again. It's been truly an honor to serve you and to learn more
Thank
about
you.
your Nubian Journeys business. And listen, if you know people that fall in that Gen X African American demographic and they've been talking about they want to go to Africa, but not what is a typical African experience, make sure you connect them to Kyia because I'm sure it's going to be a blast. I'm trying to figure out how I can get on that, have that same type of experience when I visit Africa. So till the next time, be profitable and be blessed. Bye for now.
Bye.